So for today, we're doing our crush can contour drawing. Drawing a crush can both standing and laying on the surface. Our rubric, okay, presentation and effort doesn't change. Line variation and quality. Can drawings must have a holding line, just like the rest of our drawings. That's that thicker, dark outline, meaning it's wall worthy. So I got to be able to see it from where I'm sitting. Contour lines. Contour drawing contain all interior and exterior lines. No shading. This is a contour drawing only. Automatic point deductions for not following directions. Cans. 2 cans must be drawn. One is going to be standing. One's going to be laying on its side. Paper is aligned horizontally with 1 can standing at one end, so you have room for it lying on its side next to it. All crinkles are indicated with implied lines. Remember, implied lines is from our vocabulary. Those are lines that you can see, but don't actually exist. Okay, so these are lines that we can see, but don't actually exist. And again, you guys can see the vocab for examples. Top of can includes gutter and tab. Do not draw the labels. So if you have a Sprite or Coke, you don't need to draw the labels. Cans should be close to life size, so no tiny drawings. And here's our guidelines and direction. This is an observation-based project. Make a contour drawing using slightly crushed crinkle soda can as a subject matter. The drawing should include all contours of the can and none of the graphics or text. Drawing should be close to life size as possible. 2 drawings will be done, one standing vertically and the other one laying on its side. This is the 3rd time you're hearing that. Indicate all crinkles with implied lines. Do not draw the branding. Get used to setting an object, trying to depict that object as a drawing. Criteria. So again, you're getting this repeated. 2 cans, 1 vertical, 1 laying down. Close to life size proportion. Pencil only, keep your work clean. Horizontal paper alignment. Both drawings on the same page. Start your vertical drawing at one side to give yourself room for the other one. Our focus will be shape and proportion, using any negative space to find angles and spacing. Drawing the outline first, okay, get your size and proportions, and then adding interior lines. So let's look at what we're doing. If someone can make sure I don't go off camera, I would appreciate it. I have a can here that I'm putting up so you guys can see what I'm drawing. I have that can in front of me. Let me turn it around. So I have that same angle. Okay, so when you start this, you want to make sure that you're as loose as possible. Close an eye. And then look at the shape of the top of the can. Now, it's not going to be a perfect ellipse. So I just kind of want to indicate where that is. I want to find the line that I like. When I find the line that I like, I will darken that section. And the top of the can is going to establish my proportions. I'm then going to look on the side to where it's coming out. Now, all soda cans have this beveled out section right here. And then I'm going to have that come down. And again, I'm closing an eye because I want to cut off the picture to my head. If you use both eyes, your brain's seeing 2 pictures and putting them together. And we just need one of them. So you really have to pay attention. Use your pencil to measure. So I know this side kicks out, but I know it doesn't go past here. So when I'm drawing it, I know the angle can't go past that. Okay, so I'm just going to lightly indicate it. If I don't like my angle, I will fix it. Always fix your lines before you erase. And then I'm going to start with the bottom of the can. Now, when you start drawing your curve, you're going to get this little point. I'm going to zoom in real fast so you guys can see it. What you're going to do is just rotate the paper and add the curve afterwards. And then you can erase any excess. I don't worry about erasing my light lines because once I add my dark holding line, you're really not going to be able to see it. Once I have this established, okay, I want to make sure my curve is correct because these are going to be distorted. So you got to have that slight distortion. Here's going to be the other side of my can. It's going to kick out again because of that beveled side. This comes in here. And then I can look and see where this crinkle comes into play. And it's going to be below this. And that's that crinkle right here. Okay, so I want to start off with my outline first. I want to see how things align because that's going to help me establish what I'm doing. And one thing I notice is I probably need to go in a little bit more at an angle because I kicked out too far, so I'm going to fix that. After I fix it, I can erase it. Now, here's the deal. When you guys start off with just laying in your shapes and making your corrections, okay, it's a lot easier to fix because you only spend a few seconds or minutes versus getting into details and realizing 20, 30 minutes into it that you drew the wrong angle. So make your corrections first. I can see part of my tab kicking out here. I'm going to indicate that. The rest of the tab is coming here. Again, the top of the can, there is a thickness right here. I want to make sure I indicate that. And then again, once I have my lines drawn, I'm just going to connect them. Remember the drawing exercises from fundamentals where you had to connect 2 points? Here's what I'm talking about when we're doing it. And again, I will add that curve. And always rotate your paper to match the curve of your wrist. Do not try to fight your hand. Once I have that stuff established, I can go back and look and see, okay, what is my tab? I'm going to indicate the gutter. The gutter is going to be a little bit thicker. I want to see where this tab ends, and then I have the opening. Okay, and that opening is going to be distorted. Then I have the gutter. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to fully draw this out right now because I don't want to take up your time. But now I'm going to indicate my implied lines. And again, every can has this. I want to see where my shapes are. And I want to start lining these up. Now, if I'm off, which I already see that I'm off, I will make my correction. So this crinkle is coming in at a much greater angle, which means this one's coming at a much greater angle. And here's the thing. You don't want to connect your implied lines because once you start connecting them, then it's going to look like you're doing like an abstract cubist style drawing. And we really want to see those crinkles. And again, as you move farther in, if you notice you make a mistake, fix it, erase your line, and then move on. So I'm going to stop right here. I just wanted you guys to see enough of the crinkles so you can see how this goes. And when you're adding it, you want to make sure that you kind of just bob and weave your head. So here's the thing. I don't want you drawing like this where you're at one side and then draw leaning to another side because that means you're drawing two sides of the can. When I say move your head and bob and weave, you're just going to do this, but you're always going to reset. And you do that because light's hitting the metal, and that'll help you see the different crinkles. You can also kind of move your eyes up and down, and you'll see that change in plane. Okay. Okay, so you'll see those different crinkles. So I'm gonna show you that right here on camera. So here I'm looking at it. Now, if I go to side, you can see how the light changes. And I can see those crinkles a little bit better. If I go like this, again, here you can clearly see that triangle that's right here. And it disappears almost when I go here. If I move side to side, again, you'll see the triangle again. And that's what you're looking for. You're looking to see there's this triangle with the curve. And that's all I'm doing is trying to find all these little wrinkles. So I just slightly move my head, but I always want to reset. So one standing and one on its side. So one standing, and it's going to be more like this, and then on the side, and it's going to be more like this. Everyone clear on that? Draw the skinny side, do not draw the wide side. Okay, draw the skinny side. It's going to give you more angles, it's going to give you more landmarks, things to see. Okay, so make sure you draw the skinny side, just have the can in front of you. Further than arm's length. Okay, and then everyone needs to have their own can. Okay, so you guys have the whole class period to do it. That means you're focused, you're not talking, you're not messing around, and you're on task.